Do not call me Old Man Winter. So, belated Happy New Year 2023. I hope you all enjoyed was it the first reaction video I made at the end of last year for was it the Osama Sentai King Oger picture reveals, or whatever it is. I certainly enjoyed it. Got over 2,000 views on it. Thank you very much. And also, as a quick reminder, do keep in mind I do use my community page once in a while. So if you go to my homepage, or if you go to my main page or whatever it is, and then you look along the top there, and one of the tabs says community, you can see that I do a couple of posts there, a couple times a week or something like that. Videos that I enjoy, comments I'm making on stuff, blah 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 blah. That's about as close to social media as I get. It's still on YouTube. Obviously, I don't you're not going to find me anywhere else. But just be aware that I do use my community page once in a while. So, anyways, I don't get the opportunity very often to talk about Kamen Rider. I don't really call myself a fan of it, even though I have seen maybe, I think I'm up to six complete series at this point, five or six complete series at this point. I'm about one disc away from completing my first viewing of Kamen Rider Kuga, which, yes, absolutely, Maxilla, that was a very good recommendation. Thank you very much for that. I am enjoying that, and now all of a sudden I want to collect all the toys from it. What's going on here? It's very different. As most Kamen Rider shows go, each show is kind of slightly different from each other, but the format's kind of similar. I've been wanting something like Kuga for a while now, something that's a little more realistic, something that's a little more, or I should say, the way it plays out. So instead of Kuga being, just kind of this fantastical superhero, although that is what he is. He doesn't know what he's doing at the very start of the show, and he has to kind of figure it out as he's going. I also like that, unlike any other Kamen Rider series that I've seen up to this point, and no, I've not seen all of them, nowhere near. I really like how Kuga himself works with the local police organizations. I actually do like that. That's actually a good idea. So I've really been enjoying Kuga so far. There's more to it than that, but yeah, I really like what Kuga did all the way back in the early 2000s. Was it 2002 or 2003? Something like that. Really good show. And then last year, summer of last year, I watched all of Kamen Rider Ryuki, and I enjoyed that for the most part. I wouldn't necessarily call it one of my of the few Kamen Rider series I've seen. I wouldn't really call Ryuki one of my top favorites. I wouldn't. And I'm not going to do a list here because I've seen too few of them to be able to make such a list. But suffice it to say, Ryuki was okay, it was all right. There were a couple of things, honestly, kind of the middle of the show, or kind of like I'd say the latter 3 to 4 fifths of Ryuki kind of dragged out, and come on, get going, do your thing. Come on, get going. So Ryuki started fairly well, and it was also an interesting way of doing the Kamen Rider story or whatever it is. But again, I don't get to talk about Kamen Rider very often, so this will actually be a rare exception. Um, Although to be fair, I have collected a number of Kamen Rider toys over the years. Not many, but a few. The very first one that I collected was the Garulu Saber from Kamen Rider Kiva. I really, really wish I had the Ixa Caliber, but I've just never really gotten around to it. But anyways, I have a Garulu Saber, which is absolutely covered with dust. And I do enjoy the Garulu Saber. Yes, I absolutely do. Let's see, is that button? Yeah, it's that button. There we go. So sound effects are the button in front, and then there's a button in back. You make different things. Unfortunately, I left the batteries in here for a little too long, and so it's all. Let's see, which side is it? Yeah, it's this side. So, anyways, it's all corroded and shit in there. So, regretfully, my Garulu Saber will never make any sound ever again. Doggone it. Are there any other of the, I'll just say Kiva weapons that I'd like to get my hands on? Other than the aforementioned Ixa Caliber, which isn't really Kiva himself, that's from Kamen Rider Ixa. Other than that one, no, not really. This is kind of all I really want from Kiva, so there's that. And then the very next one that I got, oh boy, which was actually the very first Kamen Rider that I got my start on all the way back in, Was it 2006 when it came out? But I think I saw it in 2007. Would have been Kamen Rider Kabuto, and that would be the Zabi Zector. This is the original one. Why did I say original? It's the only one. Anyways, they need to make a CSM of this. I would go gaga for a CSM of Zabi Zector. Anyways, yes, it's still fully functional, and yes, I did get the batteries out of this one in time. Unfortunately, you don't see me talk about this one very much because, much like many other Tokusatsu roleplay toys, this one just does not fit me, and I'm trying to come up with a way, almost, what is it, 16 years later, I'm still trying to come up, or 16, something like that, of getting this thing actually wrapped around my own wrist so I can use it. That's why I want a CSM, by the way. But anyways, yes, I have a Zabi Zector. Really the only one that I ever wanted. Let's see, is it turn this way? Which way do you turn? You down all the way? Hello, why are you not turning? Come on, turn. There we go, okay. A little worn out. Yeah, I do enjoy me some Zabi Zector. I wouldn't mind getting some of the others, but this is really the only one I needed to get my hands on. So yeah, Zabi Zector. I like it. And then finally, I'm not going to pull the whole thing out. I have the Denliner Goka from Kamen Rider Denliner. This was 2007 or 2008. I don't remember. Um, this was. I actually had plans to get all of the Denliner cars, but unfortunately, this is the only one I ended up getting. So, it's okay. Hindsight being 2020, would I have gotten it again? Probably not. There's a little removable Deno sword form sitting in there. So, then there's a little gun turret sitting in there. So, I gotta. There we go. And basically, what you do is you link all the Denliner trains together on these connector points, and then when you press the button on the front, it retracts this thing, which in turn pushes the next train. The next train in line pushes up against it. That activates the next one and on down the line. So it's actually technically a spring-loaded feature. See how this pushed in. And then yes, it also has sound effects in it and light in the. Can you really call it cockpit or whatever it is? So that's it. That's all the Kamen Rider toys I've ever owned. Ever. Up until a few weeks ago when I was browsing through HobbyLink Japan, and I get their weekly or monthly mailers, whatever it is, in my email, and one of the figures was I think it's either SH. No, it's not Figure Arts. I don't know what it is. Some sort of action figure about Yebe, collector quality, whatever it is, from Kamen Rider Gates. Or is it Geets or Gates? I honestly don't know. Which I have not been watching at all. I'm usually aware that there's a current Kamen Rider going. I just don't watch them. And if one of the toys catches me, says, "Oh, okay, that's kind of an interesting." Yeah, I'll wait till it goes on sale. Oh wait, the sale's already over and it's already been sold out. Oh well, better luck next year. So I know next to nothing about Gates, and which is it about its halfway point right now. Kamen Rider, unlike Super Sentai, which I regularly follow, starts in February or March. Kamen Rider usually does its transition in the middle of summer. So right now, Gates is about the halfway point of its run. But I still know absolutely nothing about it. I know it exists, and I know a couple of the costumes and a couple of the weapons. Yeah, okay, the roleplay stuff, it's okay, it's all right. But this particular one caught my attention. Like, oh, what is that? Oh, that's really neat. Oh, I should talk to people I know about Kamen Rider. Like, oh yeah, it exists, and there's a toy form of it. And it turns out that the rider who wields this particular roleplay weapon is actually the secondary rider. His name is Kamen Rider Tycoon, I think. He's green colored. He's a. It's not a ferret. It's a raccoon. No. Uh, what kind of critter is that? Tunaki. Tunaki? Something like that. Which apparently is like a companion to, um, what's the fox? Kitsune. Kitsune is, the theme for Gates himself. But anyways, Tycoon is based off of a, Tunaki. Tunaki, whatever that critter is called. I don't know. Please forgive me. But anyways, I picked up the technically DX Ninja Dueler from Kamen Rider Geats. This came in the mail about a week and a half ago or something like that. But the reason I didn't unbox it is actually because I'd actually been chewing for a bit about how far do I want to go with this? Because this is just the roleplay weapon, and it doesn't interact. This toy does not interact with anything else from Gates, from the Gates toy line. Okay, there's nothing that attaches to it, and as far as I'm aware, it doesn't have any ports that other things can attach to it. Okay, so this is just a standalone roleplay toy. That being said, I also, at the same time I was considering getting the Ninja Dueler, I also looked at the Desire Driver, which is their basic rider belt. I looked at the Desire Driver, and then I started looking around for the what's called the Ninja Buckle, which is the green colored accessory that attaches to the Desire Driver. So I started looking for one of those. And then it turns out, oh yeah, Tycoon is the secondary rider, and so I started thinking to myself, oh well, maybe I should get other accessories. So I looked at the what was it called, the command sword and command or dual command buckles or whatever it is that also goes to the Desire Driver. It was okay, but it was a little confusing. Maybe I should provide the space over here for the pictures. It was okay. Um, I wasn't it was okay, but it didn't really have any. I didn't quite understand how the dual buckle thing worked. That seemed a little bit confusing. And then because I didn't want to have a Desire Driver that just had the Ninja buckle attached to it, I wanted to have the other side filled up. If you get a basic Desire Driver, you end up with the Magnum buckle, which is default, which is part of the Desire Driver. And so I like, okay, I want to get, since I'm going to be having the Magnum buckle to go along with the Ninja buckle, well, then I'm probably going to want to get I'm going to screw this up, Magnum Shooter 40X or 40X. Which, it's okay, it's fine, but it's kind of too simple. It's just one moving feature on it, and then there's the thing on the back, and then there's some lights on the side. I'm like, it's okay, but like, if I liked it that much, I would have gotten it back in summer of 2022 when it debuted. Nowadays it's starting to get rare to be able to find the thing. And so, just to make a companion for this, I started looking for like, what was it, one, two, three, four other toys, which had absolutely nothing to do with the one thing that I actually did like having around. So I was like, and I actually took about a half day, and I consulted with a couple of people, and I was just like, I want to have the companion pieces to this, but on the other hand, this doesn't interact with any of those, and I'm not watching the show. I'm still not watching the show. Fuck it. I'll just get the dual driver and call or dual driver. I'm sorry, the Ninja Dueler. I'm sorry, dual driver. What's that? Oh, the dual driver is from Kamen Rider Double, I think. I think that's called the dual driver. That tells you how much Kamen Rider I actually watch or pay attention to. So, but yeah. Anyways, at the end of the day, I decided I'm just gonna get the Ninja Dueler and call it good. So unless there's another weapon that pops up a little later on that like, oh yeah, it comes with accessories that go on to the Desire Driver, this will probably be the only thing that I ever get from Kamen Rider Gates. Gates. Maybe if I watched the show, I'd know how to pronounce it. Now, obviously, tokusatsu shows, or more specifically, Kamen Rider and Super Sentai series, they're known for having the roleplay toys being unusually proportionately small and squat compared to their on-screen counterparts. Yeah, you don't want a meter long or yard long sword that the kids are swinging around all over the place. I get that, I understand, but when I saw how small this box was, this dimension, this one, like this width is fine, but I'm really, really concerned about how wide this is. Like the height here, that's okay, but the width of this, like, ooh, something tells me this is going to be really, really tiny, and quite frankly, that concerns me a bit. So yeah, and then here's all the stuff in the bottom. I'm guessing there's a Let's see. They did this with Super Sentai. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the instructions. So when you get the dual drive, Ninja Dueler. I'm sorry, I'm gonna slip on the. Why do I have dual drivers stuck in my head? I have no idea. Anyways, when you get the Ninja Dueler or Dueler Ninja, when you get the Ninja Dueler, beware it's not going to come with any paper instructions. There's a website on the back and there's a QR code as well for your cell phone. You enter those into your computer or into your cell phone, and that will take you to the instructions. So, as I understand it, I'm going to be operating this thing strictly based on reviews that I've seen of it up to this point. So, cross your fingers for me. As I understand it, in Kamen Rider Gates, each buckle that you get for the Desire driver allows every single rider that's within the show to be able to wield whatever weapon or powers come along with that buckle. So technically, even though Kamen Rider Tycoon is most closely associated with the Ninja Dueler, technically any rider can wield this thing, but it's just most closely. I already said that. Come on, move on. I'm really concerned about how tiny this toy is going to be. I'm really concerned. I opened up the box that I got from. Oh yeah, I got this from Hobby Link Japan, and I'm like, oh man, this is so tiny. I'm really worried. Yeah, it's on the tiny side, but wow. Oh, yeah, it's a bit on the tiny side. So, all right, you gates what you pay for. So there's the electronics half. Okay, maybe that's not. Okay, maybe that's not horrible. All right. So as I understand it, the Ninja Dueler is actually a dual function weapon. It is both a sword and paired daggers, or whatever you call them. Because apparently Tycoon is supposed to be, or the ninja buckle, or yeah, the ninja powers, whatever it is. Ninja powers? What is this? Freaking Power Rangers? Though? Are supposed to be ninja themed, so or shinobi themed, I think is what it's supposed to be. So you're going to see that specifically on Tycoon. Oh, that fits! Wow, that actually fits better than I thought it would. Okay, all right. So my concern about earlier, that's now officially gone. That fits me very well. Yes. Here's the attachment point that you attach to the Desire driver. Why do I have dual drivers stuck in my head? And that's actually it for this half. This half does nothing except for you hang on to it and it clips on. Actually, this is in the right hand. Um, yep, that's it. That's all you got right there. Oh, good. It does come with batteries. Good. Looks like LR44s. Okay. And the for some reason I thought that the shuriken pattern or ninja throwing star. I thought the shuriken pattern on the top there. I thought that was going to be. I thought it was going to be. Why did I think that was going to be transparent? No, it's painted. So, but that being said, it does look nice. Does this fit? Yep, that fits fine. So I'd say this is about. How big do I want to say this is? Maybe half scale. Half scale to maybe 2/3 scale, something like that. And here's the plastic tab. You're going to remove this. So you can have one of these floating around in the box. I'll probably stick it in the bag and then in the box and then back in the box. Something like that. Okay, the weapon is now considered armed. I was supposed to wield this in the right. I think this is how I was supposed to do it. So the electronics version goes in your right hand and the plain one goes in your left. Although how you put it away, I don't wield on the left hand. That's not. Oh, the handles are different sizes. I guess they'd have to be slightly for the alternate mode or whatever it is. Okay. So anyways, here's the Ninja Dueler in its dueler form. And yes, as you can see, the blade lengths are very different. Can't see what I'm doing. Yep. And the blades themselves are made of soft PVC. They are the only pieces that are green, by the way. All the rest is, yeah. So just the blade edges, those are PVC. Everything else is ABS. So yeah. Hmm. Typical Bandai. Um, can I even say cost saving? Oh, it's swirly plastic. Ew. I wasn't expecting that. Ew. It's not bad. You just don't see it very often coming out of Bandai Namco, you know. But they got swirly plastic. The dark gray is swirly, and then so is the green. The green PVC is also. Ooh, yeah. The green PVC uh, is also swirly. Ew. And then the only paint applications that I can find. I have no idea what that means, but presumably that has something to do with the show. This looks like to be the only tampo on the whole thing here. This is painted silver. This part right here is painted silver. It is not, of course, painted on the opposite side. It's not painted at all. Grr. And then over here, this is painted. On the opposite side, it's missing. And then the shuriken pattern on the top is painted. So, yeah, so you only got 3 paint apps plus 1 tampo. The what can you call this? The wraps. I don't know what you could call for the handles. You would expect those wraps to go all the way up here, but they're not. They're only like down here or something. So, honestly, the I'll say the electronics half, the A part, I guess the A part. Um, uh, I think it's slightly heavier just because it has batteries. It has all the electronics and stuff in it. But oddly, like I would say that this is heavier, which is weird, but this one's kind of bigger, like the dimensions of it. And also, I should point out, I've got a lot more space for my fingers on that one than I do on this one. Like I've got just the tiniest bit here to be able to squeeze the trigger. So, like if they were to put triggers on both sides, yeah, I can. Yeah, I mean I can squeeze the triggers. That's all one good. But this side, there isn't even a trigger on this one. It doesn't have one. Sorry, shaky hand. This one doesn't have a trigger. It's just a place for your fingers to rest. As opposed to this one, you can see there's a gray trigger right there. So, and it is not on, so we will turn it on. Where's the speaker? Where's the speaker? Speaker is down below my little finger. Ninja Dueler. As with all of the Kamen Rider Gates roleplay stuff, you get a power-up sound, and then you get the name of the roleplay toy. So in this case, it says Ninja Dueler. Just gonna squeeze the trigger, see what happens. Duh, no kidding. It's just the one sound. So it's just 2 strikes. Chow, 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 chow. That thing is sensitive. I barely brushed past this disc on the top here, the shuriken disc. I barely brushed it and activated the power-up sequence. Yikes. Does this have a motion sensor in it? I'm going to get my fingers off the triggers. Okay, so my finger's nowhere near either. There's the disc, there's the... This thing has a motion sensor in it. I did not know that. I thought it was all trigger-based. Dude, it has a motion sensor on the inside. As soon as I do it, I thought it did. Maybe it actually is as sensitive as I thought it was, and I just brushed the thing one time and that was it. Oh, no, okay. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Okay, so It actually is it is actually is this shuriken disc. That's what I'm calling it, shuriken disc. I don't know, but it is the disc. The disc is actually really really sensitive, and it doesn't click quite as strongly as like I am used to. So I'm like just kind of casually brushing it, and it's setting that thing off. So even just turning, just rotating along the disc, if the disc turns just a little bit, it'll turn that thing on. So, okay. So, okay, that's how that works. Now, moving back on again, I want to see if holding down the trigger does anything. Right now, I'm just doing quick clicks. Now, I want to see what happens if I hold it down. Looks like nothing. Yeah, it doesn't do anything at all if you hold it down. Okay. So, yes, you're supposed to turn this thing, and then that makes the new sound effects. I'm going to end up holding it like this most of the time. Standby sound effect. As I understand it, this is one of those toys where you have to spin this thing multiple times, and it keeps track of how many times you spin it. So I've already spun it one time, and then I triggered it. So now I'm going to have to trigger it, or spin it one time. I'm not going to spin it twice. Sounds about the same to me if you spin it two times. As I understand, it has a 3-spin trigger to it. Does this have? Yes, it does. Oh, that means the sounds are going to change when I put the two together. Okay, cool. I should point, you do have to wait for the thing to finish spinning, and it has to do the call out before you spin it again. So you spin it, you have to wait for it, then you can spin again. Spinning 3 times is the magic number, and then that's the end of it. Also, unlike the, what do you call it? Gosh, I'm already forgetting the name of you. The, what are they called? The Zenkaiger. Wow, how did I forget about that? Like that. Unlike the Zenkaiger sound effects, the Zenkaiger DX mecha that I have, I don't have any of the roleplay though. Roleplay for Zenkaiger sucked. Who am I kidding? The sound effects on this, the volume of the sound effects is actually not bad. I can actually, that's not bad. Like even if I took my headphones off, like yeah, the volume's not bad. That's tolerable. Because actually, because it's down here. It's not up here. It's not somewhere here. It's actually down here. I'd almost want to stick my finger over it, but yeah. Okay, so that's the magic number. You can only you spin it once, and it makes the tactical slash sound. You spin it twice, it does the tactical slash sound again. If you spin it 3 times, you get I think it's tactical finisher. Tactical finish, yeah. And you saw me there, I was just spinning it over and over and over, and it made no difference. It only goes up to 3, and then that's the end of it. So that's it for the sound effects for the Ninja Dueler all by itself, at least when it's separated. Actually, I like the sound of that. I want to see Disney do something like this with a future Tron movie or something like that. That'd be cool. That's a nice sound effect. I like that sound.
20 minutes later.
I can't believe that just happened. I was saying, this is Ave Unit 4A saying thank you very much for tuning in, and I clicked on the save button, but because of this blasted doggone, what's this called? Essential Tremor is what this is called, and I'm going to exaggerate. Because of this essential tremor, I double clicked, and the recording that I just now made, that I finished off the rest of the video, didn't get saved. So I gotta spend the next, 7 minutes doing this all over again. So, it turns out. Alright, I gotta turn the annoying sound effects on again. Ninja Dueler! Dueler! So it turns out that because of these two symmetrically designed halves, or asymmetrically, I guess is what it is, you can actually put the two together and make a single weapon, and it makes a unique sound when you put it together. I have to do this whole thing all over again. Without squeezing the button. Oh, my wrist! Damn. Okay, so right there it said single blade. So yes, it turns out the Ninja Dueler can actually form a single blade. Single blade. Braid. Single blade. And the Trekkie in me right now is just screaming Batleth. This absolutely is. If this were full size, whatever it is, yeah, this would be a Batleth. This is absolutely, well, actually it might be a little shorter than a Batleth, but the point is, yeah, this is why I got it. It's symmetrical, which is nice, and yeah, it's kind of a kid-sized Batleth. This must have been what Alexander Rozhenko played around with, or practiced with at the very least. I'm just saying. Okay, so you get a completely different set of sound effects when you combine the Ninja Dueler into single blade mode. And honestly, I'm quite disappointed with it. Honestly, I liked it better when it's in dual blade mode, but single blade, that's what it does. So, I don't know. It does have kind of sort of a nice Tron sound effect to it. Actually, can't object to it. It just doesn't sound like a sword clashing. It should be a or it should be something like that. No, it's a like, what the hell is that? Anyways, when you spin the shuriken disc, again, that's my name for it. I don't know what it's actually called. When you spin the disc, it comes up with some different sound effects. I believe the tactical slashes 1 and 2 just sound pretty much the same. I don't know why. I don't know why they're not the same. I guess it's just that rule of threes that Bandai Namco likes to stick with when it comes to both Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. I guess it's just their thing. Whatever. I love that. It's the power up sound, and then and then it's like this. There's that nice pause in there, kind of digital, electric pause that's in there. Very very stylish. There's the slash, and then there's kind of that pause where you're looking behind you, or where you don't look behind you. Kaboom! I do like that. I like that. Now, one thing I would like to check though that I didn't check that like just now came to mind that I didn't do in the previous recording is I want to find out if I can interrupt the tactical finish or not when I've done all three rounds. The answer is no. So yeah, you cannot interrupt it. So once you initiate a tactical slash or a tactical finish, that's it. It's committed and it's going to keep on going even if you spin this or you press the trigger. Nice. I can't remember if I said this already, but if you have I believe it's called the Shinken from Samurai Sentai Shinkenger. The mechanics of this is pretty much the same. The only difference is you don't the hidden discs. This what I call it shuriken disc is not removable. It's permanently in there. So um, actually I'm gonna turn this off. Oh right. So it says single blade when you put the two pieces together, and then there's this very convenient button sitting right here, and I'll be careful not to trigger it this time. When you press it and pull the things apart, it makes a different sound. And I will say, this is a very snug fit. Oops. This is very snug. Even if I pull on it, that's not going anywhere. So it's very snug. If you do decide to swing this, if you do decide to swing this thing around all over the place, it's not going anywhere. It will stay as a single piece. So that's really good to know. I do like that. That's very solid. I like that. That's good. So I'm actually going to turn this off now just to save myself the headache. Yeah, I like it. Although I'm still trying to figure out how I'm supposed to like switch. Because here's the thing: on the box, it shows both Tycoon and Gates as wielding the Ninja Dueler in their right hand, or at least when it's in single form, or they say combined, yeah, single form. When it's combined like this, they're wielding in their right hand, but then when it's separated, you have to take the time to switch because the disc is on the left side. So I'm not entirely certain how you're supposed to be able to do that. I'll probably end up watching like the first time that the Ninja Dueler makes its debut to see how they deal with that situation. So, but aside from that, yeah, this worked out pretty well. I wish that obviously I wish the backside of the toys, the silver specifically, I wish that had been painted. I also wish that the whatever this is supposed to look like false, or it's supposed to look like text. I should point out that's supposed to look like text. It's just little tiny blocks or whatever it is. So it's supposed to look like text, but it doesn't actually say anything. So should it have said anything? Like what's there is fine, but I wish it had been text. But on the other hand, it probably would have been too small to be able to legibly read it as a kid. So nice idea, can't really complain. And I should also point out the Magnum Zero or the Magnum Shooter 40X actually has an additional reader on the or on the front edge just above the handle or just in front of the handle where you could slip additional accessories in. I wish that this had been able to do the same thing. I suppose it has something to do with how the Desire driver integrates the different buckle accessories or whatever it is, and it's entirely possible that Tycoon himself is not significant enough or heroic enough or superhero status high enough to be able to warrant having, maybe have something clip onto the back here or clip onto the side or something like that. However, it is that the Magnum Shooter 40X does it. I wish that the Ninja Dueler could do it, but on the other hand, the Ninja Dueler doesn't suffer as a result of, or it doesn't like the mechanisms and things like that's not bad what ended up happening here. So, like, this is very simple and it does not interact with any of the other accessories or roleplay or whatever. That being said, I'm glad it doesn't, but I also kind of wish that it did. But on the other hand, roleplay toys in the past that have interacted with other toys, usually you have to compromise something, usually. So I suppose in this case, the simplicity is what saves the Ninja Dueler in my mind. Ooh, don't put the blades against you. In my mind, you know. Actually, I'll do it this way. Okay. Actually, I turn them the other way. Anyways, and then yes, I also looked at the what was it called, the Zombie Smasher or something like that, which is it's a sword. It's a single piece sword, except it is implied to have chainsaw blade wrapped around the cutting edge of it. So it's a chain sword, which, if you're a Warhammer 40,000 fan, that's standard affair. But to see a chain sword make it into tokusatsu, wow, that is brutal. But anyways, yeah, I did consider I think it's called Zombie Smasher, or whatever it is, and then it has a power up thing where you actually slide this one section across the back, let go, and then it slide, and then it springs back, slowly springs back all by itself. Like, yeah, I thought about getting that thing, but like, yeah, too few colors, and I kind of wish that the blade would be able to turn in some way. I wish there was some lights in it. Yeah, I again, I'm kind of glad this doesn't have lights, but I also kind of wish it did. Like, put a put a an LED pointing this direction, or an LED pointing this direction, give us a little bit of light or something. Unfortunately, that would mean the blade would have to have been clear PVC, which is bad. You never wanted to do that. Um, but it would have been nice if don't give me just like a little LED sitting right there and then call it good. No, that's not good enough. Like, I would like to have an LED in like either half or something like that. Actually, screw that. I just like to have electronics period in both half. You know, that'd be nice. But on the other hand, it'd probably be way too expensive. Anyways, my point is the simplicity of the Ninja Dueler is the reason why I got it. It does just enough to make itself interesting. It doesn't compromise anything. The only compromise is probably I've got nice wiggle room here, and my adult hands can fit in here. On the other hand, on this side, not as much wiggle room. I'm really, really limited in here, and that's because the speaker on the other side, the speaker right here, and then the two LR44s that are right here. So, yeah. But what's here is not bad. I'm quite satisfied with it. The only thing I'm not satisfied with is I don't. I'm right hand dominant, so basically every time I combine the thing, I'm gonna have to switch hands in order to make this work. And then also, yes, the shuriken disc is quite sensitive to let's put some light on it. It's actually quite sensitive to when you turn it. So be prepared if you've got bigger hands like me. Your knuckle will bump up against that, and even if it clicks even once, that'll be enough to set the thing off. So that's what I was struggling with earlier. Anyways, yes, the Ninja Dueler. I like it. Yeah, let's do the clean side. Okay, there you go. And so with that, this is Xavier Unit 4A saying thank you very much for tuning in. Oh, I really, really hope the recording doesn't crash this time. Please don't crash, please.